So teaching online safety remotely has challenges because online safety course is changing a lot currently. So with the current virus lockdown, obviously, it is becoming increasingly important. Students are increasingly socially distanced physically, and so they are looking to online friends. So it's become a higher priority because schools suddenly are finding that children are using online resources more and trying to find friends more. We also, as schools, are encouraging increased use of the internet for teaching and learning, which may raise the profile with certain children, and particularly maybe the vulnerable children, make them think a bit more about what they could be doing online as well. So yeah, we have to be there. And yes, students, some have more spare time. Not all of them, but some definitely do have more spare time. So, and they can't go off and they can't go outside and they can't go and do other things. So the internet is a natural place for them to turn to. What percentage of cyber attacks start using a phishing email? This came from a Google presentation actually just today, and I was going to use Pear Deck to be interactive, but we'll skip through that. It's 91%, which quite surprised me. And the good news is that majority of children don't use email, so they're safe from this sort of thing, and that isn't a high priority for them. But it does imagine, us as staff, it's not all about keeping the children safe. It's also about keeping ourselves safe. And certainly the statistics for targeted phishing attacks that are happening for adults has shot up since people are working at home, because all the cyber criminals know that security is laxer because people are working on different devices, on different networks, not just all behind their corporate firewall. And therefore it's easier for them to get into places. So teachers need to be aware of this, certainly, for themselves, not just for the children. So key message, taken from Think You Know, because they are one of the go-to places. I am a CoOp ambassador. Think You Know is run by CoOp. The Think You Know resources are absolutely brilliant. So this is their main message, lifted straight from their webpage for younger pupils. An exciting place, but it's all about if something makes you feel worried, scared, or sad, tell an adult you trust. So all the resources are around identifying adults you trust, like parents and teachers, and reminding children that it's not your fault. Talk to an adult is the important rule. So that's the main message for Key Stage 1. And in fact, the same message really comes into Key Stage 2. So this is the Key Stage 2 ones. And basically, this is this sort of banner headline: playing games, chatting, sharing videos and photos can be fun, but if you're worried, scared, or upset about something that happens online, tell an adult you trust. So that is still the #1 key message, is about telling children that yes, you're allowed to say to people, I don't like this, or this isn't very nice, or whatever it is, because that's really, really important that children know that. That's the most important part. There are other messages. So yes, for Key Stage 2 pupils, older pupils, the SMART rules still are there. They're ancient, early 2000s, I say I was teaching with them, but they're all about behavior and reminding children about how to behave safely and in a smart way online. And because the behavior is still the biggest issue, doesn't matter how technology's changed from the early 2000s to now, but it is about how they behave that's the important message. So this is still a bang-on message and an accurate message that we need to be reinforcing with children through this period. And there are some nice newer resources. Childnetcom have some resources. Be Smart with a Heart is their new resources around smart. They were responsible for some cartoons specifically aimed at sort of year 3, 4 children, with the slightly annoying parrot that went through the message of the SMART rules. So that they've been around for a while. There's some great resources out there that could easily be shared with children. You can point them at videos to watch and that sort of thing to get the message across, certainly. And the CoOp Think You Know website has lots and lots and lots of great resources, and for all ages, as you can see, because when you land there, it just points you at 6 boxes, take your pick. We're encouraging teachers to register with them as children's workforce. You need to do so using a school email address, which they will verify before you get access, but it gives you then as teachers access to far more resources. But there are specific pages for Key Stage 1 children, for Key Stage 2, for parents and carers, and for the older children as well. So there's lots and lots of good resources on Think You Know, and that's definitely #1 place to send anyone if anyone's worried about online safety. If you do happen to go in as one of those Key Stage 1 children, it will immediately try and split you into 4 or 5-year-old, 6, 7-year-old, or I need help straight away. And for the 4 to 5s, again, reinforces the main message, and it's all about watching videos and the sorts of things you might see online, and sometimes it scares you or upsets you. And that's the simple message. For slightly older children, there are a range of different things they might be into, so it will show them a bit more information about it. And this is a great resource for your Key Stage 1 children to use with their parents, to sit down, go through, talk about. And that's how they're really designed to be used, rather than just sitting your child down, letting them get on with it. For Key Stage 2, lower Key Stage 2 particularly, Band Runner is a brilliant resource. It's fairly new again, just like the Jessie and Friends, which were shown for Key Stage 1. It's based around a series of videos again, so the videos are there and can be watched, but there's also the game, Band Runner game, which the children can play, and that will reinforce the message and get them to explore the learning around the message in a completely different way. And I think that's brilliant, because however much I may tell them something or show them a video, playing a game, they're going to engage with it more, going to think about it more. So definitely these sorts of things is what I'm putting as links on sheets to go on, emails to go home, or in Google Classrooms and things like that, saying, go play the game, tell me what you think about it, give me some feedback about it afterwards. So yeah, they are some very good resources for Key Stage 2. If you click through as parent, then there is lots of information from parents about these particular resources as well. So there is some, if you like, contextual information, especially for parents, which is really useful. So the Think You Know website has lots of information for parents, as I mentioned. So this is going into the parent page, and it's all about what's the current things are on sort of the home page, things that are worrying people immediately. And then we've got Get Advice, Concerned About a Child, How Can I Get Help, and a bit more about CoOp and their support tools. So there's lots of good information for parents. So it's something we really, I again, highly recommend we promote with parents anyway. And currently they've got some home activity worksheets, which they put together really quickly because of COVID-19. And they're sort of simple, as it says, simple 15-minute activities you can do at home with your child to support their online learning. And to be honest, one of the biggest challenges with online safety, for all the years I've been a CoOp ambassador, which is since 2006, the biggest problem's been trying to get parents to engage. And in a situation where hopefully as schools we can steer parents towards this resource, they will hopefully engage with their children, and the parents will learn far more. So again, it might be one of those silver linings of COVID-19. Actually, some parents may get more clued up about what online safety really means, which would be quite nice. So some great resources, some nice packs. They can download their PDF files. They can use them on their screen, or if they've got the ability to print, they can print. But yeah, activity packs better off printed. Be Internet Legends, or Be Internet Awesome. Be Internet Awesome is Google's attempt at bringing some online safety resources to families, to children. It's again based around a game, which means it's quite engaging, and children will learn without really realizing what they're learning about necessarily, which I think is good. And there's a great video that introduces it and explains everything, which is available on YouTube. If you search for Be Internet Awesome, it comes up from Google, and that explains about the project and what's involved. And then there are resource packs for teachers. So there's a PDF pack you can download from the Be Internet Awesome website, as well as links through to the Interland, which is their game where children can go along and learn and play the game and engage with the game and learn the aspects of online safety. So there's lots and lots of resources there. Google do also have physical books, so that you can actually even order yourself a physical book, which will come through the post to help support it. But that's, again, this time when we're looking at activities children can do at home, this is quite a nice activity, a game where they'll learn through playing. So the best way to get messages across, well, listening, reading, watching. So for all these years, I've done loads of workshops, assembly sessions. We know that only so much goes in. However many times you tell them, it doesn't make any difference. So what we really need to do is encourage them to create and share. And at the moment where we could actually say, well, here's a nice little project. Why don't you focus on this project for the next couple of weeks even? This is a brilliant opportunity. So for making posters for younger students, even if we don't have the technology, most people at home have got some sort of paper and colouring facilities. So we could encourage them to make posters and get their parents to photograph them maybe and share them up via Google Classroom or email them into school. That would be brilliant, because it just reinforces the message. That gives them a chance to go away, maybe research it, come up with a poster, explain for the year threes what it takes to be smart, or for the year ones, the key message about making sure you can, I know who your trusted adult is and who to talk to if you're worried or scared or upset by anything online. Making posters, absolutely, definitely. Next step on is things like comics. Book Creator offers 40 free books to people who sign up. And I've used it in a number of different schools. And part of what you can do with Book Creator is create things like comics, because it's one of the sort of layouts that you can do. It's, say, 40 free books for a teacher to start with. So that's enough for one book each, which is great. If you're using Google Classroom, it will use Google Single Sign-On. So the teacher goes in and says, yes, I'm a teacher, here's my, and log in with Google, and it just takes them straight in. If the students then go here and they've logged into Chrome because they're using their Google Classroom, and they click a link and it takes them through to Book Creator, it will say, oh, you know, student sign in with Google, and they're straight in. So it's really, really quite straightforward. And then as a teacher, you can share your books with them, which is quite nice. Just have to give them a little code to put in. So a little easier face-to-face, but doable offline. And this means that the teacher will have access to these books instantly, even as the children are working with them, which is absolutely brilliant. So they could create simple comics explaining what the rules are, using Google images in the background very easily, speech bubbles, you know, there's all the usual wow, pow, you know, bits and pieces. They can make some quite entertaining stories in comic format all around the SMART rules. But it's nice because it allows them to engage with the SMART rules, think through what the SMART rules mean, how they can present that in images and in text to get their message across. So it's all great for sort of really reinforcing and embedding it. Alternative to that, things like podcasts. Yeah, they can make their own radio show, design their own jingles. They could use Audacity, which is free. Again, they have to download it and install it on a machine. Or if they've got iOS devices, iPhones, iPads, older iOS devices, they'll have access to GarageBand, and that has the voice audio recorder as part of that. And again, they could create a podcast, a radio show, telling everyone about how to stay safe online, and they could design their own little jingles and all sorts of things. Again, it's just another different way of engaging. So whether it's stop motion animation, and they're going to have a go at that, there are various online pieces of software that let you do that, mostly subscription, but that's again another possibility. Or whether it's something fairly simple like grabbing a piece of paper, let's make some nice posters and let's photograph them and share them with other people, then it's all good reinforcement of the message that you can give. So there are links. It's at 123safe.co.uk. We've got a website there which has got a parents and teachers section. So some basic links for parents, some basic links for teachers. So again, feel free to share this with your families. And on the home tab, it's latest news. So at the moment, it's promoting those home activity packs from CoOp. And we're just keeping this collated with up-to-date information. You can easily put together quizzes, for example. So again, I have used this one earlier this week, showing that you can use a quiz and use some of these materials. So here we have a year 2 quiz with some basic information, a bit about you. You can embed these videos. So the Jessie and Friends videos, which are available through Think You Know, are also available online in YouTube. And this means that you can use that easily in a Google Classroom just by searching for it and popping it in. The children get to watch the video and see what happens in the video. And then underneath that, you can then ask them questions. So I've put an image to reinforce who's who. And then we've got questions, and it's simple self-marking quiz. So yeah, we've been through quizzes. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but this is quite a nice way of taking some of these resources that are available freely online through Think You Know, but also through YouTube, and actually reusing those, repurposing those to be a bit more engaging, just to challenge children to think a little bit outside the box. So those resources are available. Things like this quiz are in our 123 classroom, alongside the one for Key Stage 2, which is based around the band runner videos, and again has information about the questions about the video clip. So you watch the cartoons and you have a number of different questions to answer. So it's quite easy as a teacher to, yes, reuse some of these resources, pull them together, and actually get a resource that will help reinforce the message for children. It's really important to carry on talking to children about online safety, to reinforcing the messages, because we know they're engaging with technology more than they have been in the past, and we know this is going to cause them to be more vulnerable. We know some of them are in a less good mental state, shall we say, worried about things, worried about family, worried about relatives, worried about friends, and so are looking for reassurance. And it's this sort of time when the online predators, unfortunately, will be having a field day trying to find children they can empathize with and they can make to be their friends. So reinforcing the rules, talking to them about the rules, talking to them about how they behave, because it's all about how they behave, is really important. Pointing them at some of these games so they can engage and think about it in a different way is absolutely brilliant, and is easy to do, and is a quick win in a remote learning environment. Asking them to then take part in some sort of project or challenge is very, very good, and is very, very useful.